Okay, this is a brief meditation using what we call the inner system, what we see in when we think in images, what we hear in when we hear ourselves talk, call that hear, to ourselves, we call that thinking. And then lastly, emotions show up in the body. So we're going to work with feel in, the feelings that happen as we have emotions. So I'm going to give us a little tour and suggest how we can create some of the experiences. So maybe stretching up this and lengthening the spine, relaxing the muscles, soften the jaw, relax the shoulders. So to be able to be both alert and comfortable supports our mindfulness. And now when you're ready, I would invite you to bring your attention in, and we'll start with see in. And what I would suggest is maybe create in your imagination the image of a beautiful tree. Your imaginary tree. And notice the details. Maybe notice the color of the bark. Notice the leaves. Maybe even notice where it's standing, on a grassy hill or in your backyard. Notice the image and image space, where the image shows up in your mind. And using the option of zooming, you might want to even zoom in on one of the leaves. And then you could zoom out for the whole tree. And if you want, you could just softly use the label see. When the image fades, or if it's kind of fuzzy, just refresh it. And if you notice there's nothing there, there's no image, that's a moment of rest. Just use the label rest. So see, label at your own pace. And in doing this practice, we're strengthening all three skills. We're choosing to pay attention to this image in our mind, concentration. We're noticing details about it, or we're noticing that it's restful because there's no image. That's sensory clarity. And then lastly, we're just being present for it and letting everything else go to the background. And that's equanimity. And now we can let go of see and bring attention to hear in. Notice where you hear yourself, the self-talk that we call thinking. We'll call that talk space. And what I would suggest is that you might count to 10 silently and just hear yourself with each number. And if you want, you can use the label here between each number. So 1 here, 2 here, all the way up to 10, and then start over. And if you get distracted, just come back to here in and use the label here. Okay, we can let go of here and let's do feel now. Remember, feel in is any emotion showing up in the body. And one easy one to experience is just putting a smile, a genuine smile on your face. So you're choosing to pay attention to the physical expression of a smile, concentration. Notice the details. Notice where it's located. And notice if it starts to spread through your body. Smiling. And if you want, you could use the label feel at a steady pace. And if there's no emotion there, if you don't feel it, it's perfectly fine. You can label that rest, that absence is a restful experience. Okay, we can let go of here. And now in the time we have left in this meditation, I'd invite you to just let your attention move freely between each of these inner systems, what you see in, what you hear in, what you feel in, and whatever pops up, you might label it, see or hear or feel or rest, and then notice it, note it, and let it go, and note what comes next. So let's give that a try for a few minutes. And if you get distracted by a sight or an external sound or a physical feeling in your body, just let that go. Let it be in the background and come back to being aware of what you see in, hear in, or feel in. And let's do one more minute of the practice. Okay, good work, everybody. Good job.